On this day, in 1512, the ceiling of the Sistine Chapel was unveiled to the public. In 1604, Shakespeare's Othello was ran for the first time. And in 1945, Australia joined the United Nations. And now, the PrinnyCast records PrinnyCast Roundtable for November 1st, 2013.
Great moments in history on November 1st, right there. All
fantastic.
Awesome.
This is monumental history.
So, welcome to the PrinnyCast Roundtable, a casual weekly show where we talk about what we've been up to and all that good gaming stuff that we've done over the last week. I try to alter how I say this every week, but I don't think it matters. We're your hosts. I'm Chris. This is Grover.
Hello.
This is Mike.
Where? Oh, hi.
Where? And Ed is with us, chatting through text messages as always. In the background, you'll see more of those Kickstarter projects that we're always trying to promote a little bit, and you can check out the links below if you're curious about any of them and want to help fund them. We try to make sure there's at least a week left into the ones we run on the show. And all those new bundles will also be in the background too, when they have trailers for them. Some of them are a little more difficult than others. We got flagged for the Deathspank one because apparently EA owns Deathspank. I didn't know that. But yeah, so the bundles this week is Indie Royale is tossing in the Halloween 2 bundle featuring 8 varied spooky themed games with a secret game yet announced, all for about $5 for the moment. A lot for a little is always a great deal though. On that very note, there's also Super Power Sims bundle. On Bundle Stars, it's pumping train and truck and air combat sims, not truck and train combat. That'd be an interesting niche market there. But anyway, you get 9 in total, all for about $4. And the main Humble Bundle seems to be taking some time off, but you know they'll be back. Meanwhile, the weekly bundle is a big one from Team 17, where you can grab a ton of the Worms games and their Alien Breed series if you pay over the average. And lastly, if you are looking for some more mainstream gaming for a bit more cash, GOG.com has the Ultimate Ubisoft sale, which includes 44 games that if you bought them all is $164, saving you like $300. Or you can pick and choose from a huge collection of all of these series titles. So there's stuff like Settlers and Rayman, Prince of Persia, Might and Magic, Far Cry, and a whole bunch of other little here's and there's from other series of theirs. And yeah, all for basically under $4 a piece if you want to buy them individually. But hurry, because that sale ends sometime Monday.
Monday.
The Steam Halloween sale will be over by the time this is out too, so.
Yep, it's weekend only.
Yep,
but what a week.
Yeah, what a week.
So,
well, good and bad.
I know Grover's got a long one coming, so I'll go ahead and hit up Mike first. What you been up to?
Well, it's been pretty busy for me, so I haven't really done a whole lot. Pretty much just the usual. Toy Story came out this week for Disney Infinity, so I got that and played it a little bit with Sydney. And then we got World of Warcraft and Pokemon, really. That's about it.
What do you think about the new Pokemon? Is it better than the older ones, or?
It's Pokemon.
Oh, it's Pokemon.
The only different thing really is that it's more 3D.
You can molest your Pokemon from what I've heard.
I haven't done any of that, but yeah, that's there too.
Has the 3D really added a lot to it, or does it feel like this should have happened 10 years ago sort of thing?
It's kind of nice to see the perspective shift. It doesn't really add a whole lot to it, though. It should have happened a long time ago. Yeah.
If they had put it on consoles or, maybe PC.
Yeah,
it's never going to happen, but...
Seeing the fights be a little bit more animated is nice, too. Mm-hmm. I mean, it's nothing huge, but it's like...
It's at least Pokemon Stadium style, isn't it?
Yeah, at least that, yeah.
Just not as crappy.
I don't even remember what Pokemon Stadium really looked like, so I can't comment.
Quite horrible in the battle part. But it's weird, because all the anime pictures and stuff when you're browsing around look really great.
Yeah, but it was Nintendo 64.
Yeah, that was a 64 era.
That was tough era. Not a lot of texturing going on there, but then again, they didn't really need a lot.
They should just sell animation.
All right, Grover. I think we're ready. What happened to your Wii?
Here's a game that I should have been playing when it came out in 2003, but for some reason, it completely went past me, and I never noticed it. And, well, since I've been a Prinny for like a year and a half, you think I'd know about this game. Just Gaia. And I started playing this game, I can't remember exactly what day, but that's it. That's all I played since then. It's literally, as soon as I realized it was just like Tactics, and only had a lot of stuff that Tactics didn't have, I became obsessively hooked. And I think in 4 days, I've played roughly 75 hours. So that tells you what's going on. And I'm only the first one. I haven't got to the second or third or fourth one.
Now, is this the original PlayStation 2 version that you're playing? Yeah,
this is the original PlayStation 2 version. I've heard that the one in DS has a Etna mode, which I'm kind of interested in. And one, I understand what the hell some people are talking about. Like when Chris says Shazam, I understand what the hell he's saying now. I thought he was talking about Kazam, the movie, but not from one of the characters in just Gaia. Now I hear that so often, I'm like, oh my god, shut up. You're the first to die. Mage will kill you first.
Well, it's also a saying from, well, he used to be called Captain Marvel, now he's called Shazam, but...
Oh,
I think that's where the term actually originally came from. But
there are tons and tons and tons and tons of other game and movie references in that game. I've noticed so many that I've lost count. I don't realize that they're doing it because there's so many of them now. So yeah, this is just a chip off the iceberg. I think that I will probably be playing these much longer. I haven't even beat the storyline yet. I think I'm near the end, and that's just going to be me trying to look for all the other stuff in the game.
And then, like you said, you've got all these other disguises to go after, plus all of the little side offshoot stuff like Lapis Hill Tactics and the Kai Kingdom. And
yeah, I did the item world, and I immediately took one look at the item world, and I was like, okay, there's got to be an easier way to do this. So I sat there and watched the stats, and I was just like, oh, I don't have to fight all the item monsters. All I have to do is rush to the item boss in every 10th floor, beat the crap out of them, and somebody said leave and come back for extra stats, and I just didn't. The stats you gain are not worth it. So I was just like, well, that's kind of pointless. So I think I can max out an item now in maybe 40 minutes. When before, when I was fighting all the floors, it could take roughly 4 hours.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, me and exploiting, finding a way to make something done faster. Yeah. I really thought that, thinking going to level 9,999 would just be mind-blowing. I didn't even realize there was resurrection in the game. When I figured that out, I was just like, holy...
Yeah, I didn't remember that being in the original either.
Yeah, I was just like, you mean I think you could do it 20 times before the game's just like, it reaches the 64-bit, the 32-bit limit. Or is it 64-bit limit? I can't remember. But anyways, you reach the game, it's just too high and you can't reach the limit. But yeah.
It's only so many numbers you can have on those stats.
But yeah, that's it. That's all I play.
Let me see. More Cookie Clicker, more Tynan, both of them in the background because there's so little really to do on those games. And Cookie Clicker has so little left to do now at this point until they update the game some more. And they do it fairly regularly, but I haven't noticed a lot of major updates. But you can reset the game like a prestige system, basically just like the Disgaea Resurrection thing, so you can get more and more powerful as you go each time. But there's hardly anything left to get. So, played a few more hidden object games, unlocking some more characters on one of my Naruto fighting games. Watched Grover play Disgaea quite a bit this week. Played a smidge of Treasure Adventure Game, which is a free GOG game, so go pick that up if you even think you might be interested in kind of a La Mulana style platformer from the years of yore. And that's about it. I mean, it sounds like a lot, but not really. I've focused heavily on work and family stuff, and PrinnyCast quite a bit. There's not really been a lot of time for other little things, strangely enough. And seriously, there's been a PrinnyCast upload almost every single day all month long, with the exception of the first week, and it was kind of light. But especially this week, plus whatever gets uploaded this weekend, and we're doing something a little different. You probably already noticed from the title, but we're actually smushing together the roundtable and the game news because I'm really exhausted mentally. These
18-hour days that we go through are rough, but he's like pushing up to 22 now.
I
gotta have my hour of sleep a night.
But there's a lot of other stuff that I don't necessarily talk about going on, obviously. But it's busy times for everybody, I know. And speaking of which, BlizzCon is next week.
I can't wait.
So
I will definitely have news. I won't be here next week for the cast if you guys do one, but I will come back the week after that with news that everybody will probably know by then. So maybe we'll do a special recording about stuff that happens at BlizzCon. Yeah. That would be kind of fun. I'll just grab you and be like, hey, let's record real quick.
Yeah. Special report.
And
BlizzCon isn't the only major con going on right now. I know it's not quite what it has been years past, but Minecon is going on this weekend, the Minecraft convention.
If you can call it a convention. I know it just seems, in most conventions you get to go around all day long, every day, and go look at different stuff, and there's Minecon, they usually all guide you to one spot.
As big as Minecraft is, there's only so much you can really do with it. I mean, you can throw some computers up to play some stuff, you can show off big videos somewhere, you can have some bands playing Minecraft-inspired music, but for the most part, there's only so much you can do with Minecraft as a convention. But they still get a huge attendance, so I guess everybody's happy.
Yeah, they're still very awesome, and you usually get free capes and stuff in the game.
And outside of that, there's also 2 brand new Mega Man remix albums that have come out celebrating his 25th anniversary. OC Remix, Overclock Remix, has officially teamed up with Capcom for one of the few official licensed remix albums out there. This is good in some ways, but it's bad in the sense that it's also one of the few remix albums you have to pay for, $10 as a matter of fact. And I can assure you, it's very unlikely the musicians actually get to see any of this.
Yeah.
So it's either going to be, it's either going into Capcom's pocket, or there might be some that's going to help with the OCR, their servers and stuff like that. And then there's also something.com, that's something with the U, but you can check out the link below, gathering some of the biggest Mega Man remix bands out there, like the Megas and Arm Cannon, and many more, plus the return of the Protomen for the first time in 2 years, to put together an album of their own. Find all the links down in the description, and that's pretty much all the extra news. And I'll go ahead and say this now, just in case I forget later on, but follow us on Twitter at PrinnyCast, and you can contact us with email at prinnycast@gmail.com. Find all of the links to pretty much everything we discuss, including our YouTube and Twitch channels and all that good stuff. And do not forget to set your clocks on Sunday morning. It's the time change for those who actually, have daylight savings time to worry about. Some states and a lot of countries don't. So, and then for the first time in a very long time, we get to do this together, Edna, and you can too, Grover. I know you started doing a thing too there toward the end. It's time for game news.
Game news.
Actually, it used to be Gomnoz, but I like that one. I like that one. David.
Oh, I was off.
Save
You
Frank.
caught me off guard. We're not used to this. Usually we end and we go to the next. See, that's what happens.
It's been a while. So, alright, between the desperate need for a bit of stress reduction and breathing space, there will not be your typical game news show this week. I know, I'm being redundant, but this is just in case the video gets spliced into two parts. And I know you guys love the animation and the setup. We definitely do too, but not only is it just what I said at Factor, but this is, well, up until today, there was some news today, but the deadest game news week yet. And we've had some really dead ones, but we're going to try to stretch out as much as we can here. So here's what's going on for the last week of October and what we've heard of so far today. One of the biggest stories this week is that Ubisoft announced that their Uplay Passport system is being abandoned. A system meant as an online access and support system with extra features and rewards and DRM is being seen by the company as no longer relevant, as, quote, games today are blurring the line between offline and online, and between what is single-player and multiplayer. Assassin's Creed 4 Black Flag will be the last game to use the system, and it should also be reminded that EA abandoned their own online passes set up this last spring.
EA made a decision that after 14 years of having its name on the title, Tiger Woods would no longer be the feature of their long-running PGA Tour series of golf games. The split was a mutual one, but the odd thing is no one is really saying why this happened, as Tiger's agent is looking at other potential golf games to be attached to, while also stating Tiger will not only be no longer on the cover or have his name on the title, he won't be in any EA game whatsoever. Well, I mean, he's kind of gone the bad way.
Yeah, he's still he's still a major player in the golf tournaments, so
he's still a major player in the prostitution tournament too.
Okay.
I can't.
Not sure whether I should keep that or not. All right.
Oh my.
Statements made by certain members of the cast do not necessarily represent the thoughts and how do you say that, of the PrinnyCast. There you go.
Statements of the PrinnyCast coast does not constitute something.
Anyway, onward.
In more EA news, after the distal alpha trial feedback for the upcoming free-to-play Command & Conquer title, EA decided to axe the project along with the team, Victory Games, who was working on it. An EA representative said that whenever possible, they will reincorporate the former members into other studios within the EA umbrella. I'm kind of glad that they didn't do that, because that Command & Conquer Tiberium game they made earlier, that was browser-based, it was arguably one of the worst games I've ever played.
That may be this one.
The Tiberium game was in alpha, so this might have been them saying, okay, I mean, whatever, cuss word, insert cut words here.
Little Orbit's action RPG Young Justice Legacy, based on DC Comics cartoon series, has stated that they've joined the long list of multi-platform titles that won't be making an appearance on the Wii or Wii U. The series was cancelled this year after 2 seasons, but this is actually more of a further comment on the Wii U's poor service since its arrival. Nintendo hasn't been oblivious to this, claiming that the console has had a negative impact on company profits, having the system and its games sell not just below projections, but far below. That's not good.
No. Not good at all.
Not even Pikmin 3 or Wind Waker HD has had much of an impact, and that, quite frankly, surprises me, because everybody was talking about they were going to get Wind Waker. Thankfully, the 3DS has grown quite strong and is currently enjoying the bolster of the Pokemon X and Y's powerful emergence. Powerful! Nintendo's president Satoru Iwata has spoke on a financial briefing. Except for its backward compatibility with existing Wii software and accessories, we have so far failed to make propositions worthy of Wii U's position as a successor to the Wii system. Guys, brand new Zelda game! That's all it'll take! However, he and the company are putting high hopes in what should be a strong season of games like Wii Fit U, Wii Sports Club, Super Mario 3D World, and more to help turn around the system's troubles. He warned no one title or even a handful of titles alone will turn the situation around overnight.
Smash Brothers won't hurt.
No, Smash Brothers will be a pretty big deal, I think.
But that is next year, so they have a...
Yeah, it's not until, March?
Yep. It has to survive until next year. It's getting kind of scary. I think they'll be alright, though. Yeah, if March goes and they get poor sales, then I'm going to be very worried.
Nintendo has removed Swap Note Spot Pass since, and who would have thought the system was being actively misused, and not just in the juvenile pictures drawn that you would naturally suspect, but also passing inappropriate pictures back and forth as well, with many of the offenders being minors.
No.
And those pictures are real-life pictures.
Yeah, big problem.
Yes.
That's not good. That's a nice way to get multiple people in trouble. Big trouble.
On a lighter note, Nintendo also unveiled that some cartoon specials featuring Pikmin nature documentaries and The Legend of Zelda: The Misadventures of Link. The shows will be launched on Nintendo Video, which is an app used on the 3DS, and will also have new shows from the creators of Adventure Time.
Speaking of the 3DS, Sega is also releasing some Genesis classics to it on the eShop for $6 each. That will also sport a few of the features that use the 3D aspects of the handheld system into its games. So 8 3D revamped titles will be available before the end of the year, including Shinobi 3, Sonic 1, Echo the Dolphin, Altered Beast, and Streets of Rage. Heavenly Sword, that PS3 launch title that was quite a hit and miss back at the time, has found itself a trailer for its brand new CG animated movie featuring the returning voice talent of Anna Torv as Noriko, with Alfred Molina and Thomas Jane joining the cast. The movie is supposed to be released this spring in 2014 in very select theaters and on digital distribution. And Mike, you've got some Blizzard news for us.
I do have some Blizzard news. Now, the Dark Below being a possible expansion for WoW turned out to be a hoax, but fear not, because according to MMO Champion, a new possible expansion title has been trademarked in New Zealand and Australia under the name Warlords of Draenor. Should also mention that warlordsofdraenor.com was registered 1 month ago. If you're familiar with Warcraft lore, you know that Draenor was the name of the Draenei planet before it exploded and became known simply as Outland.
Okay, so this isn't going to be a big adventure in the sewers. Alright, good.
Oh, darn.
So here's hoping that this will be more of a Burning Legion focused expansion, because that's what I and a few of the people that I know have been clamoring for, those good old Burning Crusade days.
And so for the last little bit, we get into some rapid fire. I said that really weak. Usually I get all excited, so let's try that again. Rapid fire! There, how's that? Microsoft has changed its live terms of use so that it will be allowed to share information like your name, address, date of birth, and email with partners like Netflix and ESPN. Now, this has gotten some people all up in arms, but before anybody panics, be aware this is hardly anything new, and certainly anyone that's been on the likes of Facebook before has been giving away far more than that to just about every little application that comes along. But all of this is for the preparation of interconnected systems on the Xbox One that it will be providing. And Steam reaches a new milestone of 65 million registered users, a growth of 30% from last year alone. And meanwhile, Capcom has stated that Resident Evil 5 is officially the company's best-selling game of all time, selling 6 pints.
6 pints.
When it's not a typo, it's my tongue. Alright. Selling 6.5 million copies from launch in 2009 to September 30th of this year, passing its former record holder of Street Fighter II, which sold 6.2 million way back in 1992. And the last minute news that the Ouya 2.0 will begin development in early 2014 with a new controller already in production that looks to fix a lot of the issues people had with the prior design. But that is all game news for November 1st and beyond the other direction, the beyond horizon behind us, whatever that means. For November 1st, 2013, Mike will be off to his BlizzCon extravaganzas, but he might join us for a special broadcast after that to catch us all up to date on what was said and done. I would ask for pictures, but you're not actually going.
No, I'm not actually going.
But I hope you
take some still frames.
Go, take some pictures of your monitor. But until then, I guess we'll see you all next week. We hope you didn't mind the weird format of the show this week. Just trying to save us a little wear and tear, and we all need it right now. So till next time, everybody.
See you next time.
See you next time.